right, so now on to China. And as we've done before, we'll again start with geography. And the river civilizations in China, there are two main rivers running east-west across China, and that is the Yellow and the Yangtze rivers. And the flooding in China was viewed as more as destructive than life-bringing anything else. It was the Chinese did not rely upon the flooding of the Yellow and the Yangtze in order to irrigate their crops. Okay, there was enough rain and natural climate to support agriculture without the assistance of flooding rivers. And so the flooding of the Yellow and the Yangtze in particular was viewed as being highly destructive more than anything else. And by the way, this is still common today, as there was massive flooding in China over the last year and a half or so that took the lives of tens of thousands of people. And so this destructive nature of the Yellow and the Yangtze still exists today. All right, but the major idea with China is we have to talk about Confucian ideas and Confucian beliefs. All right, and the main idea behind that is that within Confucianism there is this idea called filial piety. Okay, and that is the idea that within a family unit, there are certain roles and responsibilities, certain ways that family members are supposed to interact with one another. Okay, and it is preset and established. So a certain way that a father is supposed to treat his son, a brother is supposed to treat his sister to her brother, so on and so forth. Okay, with every family relationship there is a preset role in a way that they're supposed to interact. Okay, and that's filial piety. Well, Confucian ideas and beliefs transcended the household and the family and moved into the realm of politics. And the way that, obviously, China being ruled by a series of dynasties, which is a family of rulers, a dynasty would remain intact so long as the father of the country protected his people. Okay, and that's filial piety. But if the father failed to protect his people, then you'd be forced to step down and a new dynasty would then begin. Okay, and so as a father is supposed to protect his family, the emperor is supposed to protect his people. And if he fails to do that, from Confucian ideas of filial piety, the dynasty would then come to an end and a new dynasty would then emerge. Okay, very brief with China, but that's really the major idea. Now, over time and over future dynasties, there's going to be a rejection of Confucian ideas and beliefs in favor of what's called legalism, and I'll leave it to you to really look at and compare and contrast legalism with Confucianism. But that's on your time, okay? And then also beyond that. Within China, probably the largest of the Chinese dynasties and the greatest expanse would be that of Han China, which existed from roughly 200 BCE to roughly 200 CE, around the same time as the Roman Empire in Europe. And so these were really the two great empires of the time. And although there was not a whole lot of interaction between the two, there's a lot of similarities, comparisons, and contrasts that can be made between Rome and Han. Okay, and the manners in which they rose, the manners in which they fell, the manner in which they kind of interacted or ruled people and ruled their subjects or surrounding areas of Romans and non-Romans, or Han and non-Han, okay, or Chinese, non-Chinese. For lack of a better word. So a lot of comparisons and contrasts that could certainly be made, okay? And one thing that you'll have to come back to probably time and time again. All right, but admittedly brief, but that is this episode on China.